This is Impact Hall of Famer Gail Kim, and you are watching the Countdown City WrestleCast.
Okay, guys, I have to play the intro because somebody deleted the intro video from our thing. I have no idea why. I just realized it's gone. Yeah. I just realized it's gone. Anyway, what is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of Countdown City WrestleCast. I was the freaking countdown's going. I'm looking here like, okay, where's the intro? It's not fucking there, and I have no idea what's going on here. So, I'm your host JC. Joining me is that guy Tommy.
Hi.
And we got Big Mike.
What's up, guys? Yeah, maybe because we added the All Elite AEW video at the end, because I think we could only have like 10 videos or something, right?
Yeah, well, apparently Ted deleted the wrong video when he did that. So, Ted, you got to get back here and put that one in. So,
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, Jesus Christ.
It all goes downhill after 300.
I guess
Yeah.
so. I guess so.
Wow.
Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us for episode number 301 of the Count City WrestleCast. Yeah, it was one episode after 300 and everything goes to shit. So, anyway, it's not one. Oh, gosh. Anyway, what is up? Hope your week is going well. We got a loaded show today. We're going to be talking about everything that happened at AEW All In Wembley. And Labor Day weekend is quite busy. TNA Emergence, WWE Bash in Berlin, and NXT No Mercy. There's a lot to discuss. Yeah, Ted, I see you laughing.
Yeah, what do you have to
screwed it
say,
up for
Ted?
us, buddy. So, look, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to delete a video that we no longer have to use because she's not known by that name anymore. And you can go back in and put the intro video in because I don't have it saved. Or add it to the video
Can we
library.
change your name? Oh, no.
No, Anyway, well,
I said nothing. See, I said nothing.
okay.
Thought she changed
So-
the name.
Let us get started with a bit of wrestling news, and there is a lot to discuss. First, let's talk about some announcements on the AEW front. They did announce, yes, we knew already that All In was going to be in Arlington next year in July. Forbidden Door, in the meantime, is moving from its usual late June, early July slot in the U.S. to Wembley in August. So, Forbidden Door...
Which is interesting.
Yes, they're switching it next year, but in 2026, Wembley will once again get All In. So I don't know if it's something that they're alternating, but this is a really cool opportunity for the European crowd to not only see AEW talent, but also New Japan and whoever else they decide to add to Forbidden Door next year. Maybe Rev Pro or any of their promotions that are there.
Anytime Zack Sabre Jr. shows up, I was automatically that's the Rev Pro representative there.
Yeah, for sure. So, guys, thoughts? Is this going to become a thing where they kind of alternate them here and there? What do you guys think of that?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh no, I just like I kind of hope so. I like All In coming to Texas next year. That's a really cool thing, obviously for us. But you always have to be careful of putting the same thing in the same place repeatedly. It can be special, but also, what's kind of made all these foreign pay-per-views special lately is that they normally, will only get live event tours and stuff like that. So when they get these, you kind of get that crowd that's more hungry for wrestling. And I mean, don't get me wrong, All In last year, All In this year, the crowd's hungry for wrestling. Whatever the numbers are different or whatever, like the fans are great. But, you always got to be careful if it's just repeatedly year after year. Do fans get used to it? Do you take it, take it for granted type thing? So I like them moving around. And again, like you said, then with London getting, England getting Forbidden Door, you have that, like you said, the New Japan and the other potential talent that they could bring in. So I think you got to keep it fresh and kind of move it around a bit.
Jason says Forbidden Door's in London, but not sure it's going to be in Wembley.
That's
That's interesting. I mean, yeah, sure. It could be the O2 Arena. It could be something like that. Although
I know they confirmed All In 2026 will be back in Wembley.
Right.
They confirmed that, but I was double checking. Yeah, they didn't say Forbidden Door would be in Wembley for London.
yeah, they haven't announced a venue. I'm sure they have one booked already.
Yeah,
They just haven't announced it. But I'm sure they're going to see what the demand is for tickets, knowing that New Japan talent's going to be going as well as AEW talent. So,
Yep.
Mike, you mentioned the whole having them in the same cities. next week we're going to be talking about All Out, which historically has been in Chicago from the very beginning. Do you think that's? I mean, Tommy, I'll ask you this question based on what he said. Do you think it's wise for them to be establishing it always in one spot consistently?
Depending on what it is, yeah. All Out, I don't think I would move. I would think I would keep All Out in Chicago. I would, but moving everything else seems pretty okay. All Out, I think that should be a Chicago thing because that's been their hottest crowd lately. And I thought it wouldn't be after the CM Punk stuff, but considering the fans showed up, were consistent, and didn't obnoxiously chant CM Punk all night last time when they were there immediately after all of those incidents, that's shouts out to the Chicago crowd. Of course, then again, Okada saying "shut up, bitches" probably is what kind of. I mean, that's about the only way a CM Punk trend has ever been defeated in history. Well, I mean, there've been a couple times, but that's one of the best ones.
Yeah. All right. A little bit more on the wrestling news. We'll move a little bit on the independent front here. One ACH has come out of hiding, everybody. If you haven't seen this already, AAW Pro. Funny we mentioned Chicago. It's a promotion based out of Chicago.
Yep.
ACH returned. I'll see if I can pull it up on Twitter, but
Sorry.
Instagram.
Well, yeah.
While you're saying that, I do remember Chris Marvel posting something months ago about ACH coming to hybrid. I don't know if that happened already or not, but
Okay.
he did post it on Instagram months ago, and I didn't know if that was for a comeback or that was just because he was just kind of missing it or
I wouldn't doubt if it was just training because the amount of people we've heard and seen or were told after it happened that have come down to hybrid to train to
stalked outside the building. I mean, what?
Well,
Huh?
I mean, you could work for FedEx. Who knows? Like, I mean, sometimes those
What?
things need to be delivered.
I haven't snuck into one of the trucks and just kind of hung out. With
Oh, I thought you were going to say show. I was like, I thought we established, Tommy. You get
Yeah, right. That's what I was talking about,
You
Mike.
get
That's
into free
what I
shows
said.
free all the time. So
Yeah, that's what I said, Mike. Yeah.
wow, you're hiding.
It's just-
Yeah, there's who did he attack? I couldn't tell who that was.
I didn't. Oh, who was that? Honestly, I don't know either.
Does it say in the?
Doesn't say on that caption there.
Yeah, okay.
But you can check out highspots.tv for the replay of it.
But as we were saying just before we went on the air, also came out to Show Goes On, which if you know him from his indie days, it just hits.
It's like one of the few songs like everyone in Austin knew at least for like a solid year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Austin, San Antonio for sure. Because it was everywhere. So.
Before we go too far, Jason, Angel, Rick, James, what's up, guys? Thanks for being in the chat.
Hello.
What is up, everyone? Yes. Little more on the news front, and this one is kind of a 50-50 among us here. Jason, the last time I saw ACS was when Heavy Metal Wrestling tapings during the pandemic. Oh, wow.
Nice.
I forgot they did that. Wow.
Yeah. Netflix announced a new series going to be coming out, I think, at the end of next month.
September.
And if I remember the caption right, I don't have it in front of me, but it's titled something about Mr. McMahon, not necessarily Vince McMahon, but it seems to be centered around Vince McMahon's character. Don't have a whole lot of information on how many episodes this is, but I don't know. I know in our little group chat it's been a little polarizing, obviously. There you go. Netflix documentary series Mr. McMahon. September 25th is the release date. It's going to be 6 one-hour episodes. And apparently this has long been rumored, and I'm starting to wonder if part of the deal with Raw going to Netflix was that they had to produce this or something like that. I have no idea. But,
I have a friend. I have a friend in another group chat who's been kind of like pointing out how this could be amazing, and it's starting to convince me to maybe want to see it. But honestly, I just don't care. I'm over dealing with this dude, man. I really am.
Here's the thing: when you say that, JC, if the deal's connected to WWE, they literally just spent a whole part of the last year trying to distance themselves in general
Right.
after everything that came out. So either it's going to whitewash, so to speak, a lot of the stuff that has been alleged and happened, or it's going to expose it all.
Right.
And honestly, one way or the other, I don't want to watch it. If it's going to try and downplay what has allegedly happened and
Hmm.
focus on him as some great genius mastermind, like it says right there,
Well,
I don't want to see that.
it says mastermind and it says madman. So who knows what else is going to come.
Because he was legitimately a mastermind, and I'll give him
Yeah.
that. But then, the fact that he was a terrible person.
That's the madman part.
No, if the WWE is going to erase, okay, I know these are a totally different spectrum of things done, but if we can never talk about Benoit in the context of WWE, I am completely fine about doing the same thing with McMahon. And yes, I know those are different levels of things. If what he allegedly done was true, which but still, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So thanks. I'll watch the doubles. I don't even know what that means, but I think
Some interesting things on this poster. First of all, it's executive produced by Bill Simmons.
I know what Jason's talking about. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. It's executive produced by Bill Simmons and Chris Smith, who was executive producer of Tiger King. We know how polarizing that show was. But I look at this poster and I realize there's no WWE logo anywhere. This is strictly about him. I don't know if WWE has any part in this. I don't know if any of this is going to be whitewashed. Now, I understand your side of it, but the history major in me says, okay, I need to watch this because I that kind of stuff I get intrigued
That's
by.
fine.
I mean, that's just the kind of stuff I like to watch. It's what the different all sides of it, if you will. So, anyway, this debuts September 25th, 6 1-hour episodes. I don't know if it's going to be all at once or one episode a week. I don't know how Netflix is going to throw that out there. So we'll see when that comes out.
I mean, for what it's worth, it's going to be all over. Clips are going to make their way all over.
Yeah, they are.
TikTok and Twitter and everything.
For sure. For sure. Final bit of news to talk about. I think by now the wrestling world knows Sid Vicious passed away earlier this week. I want to say his age. Was they say 63 was his age?
63 was what I saw
63
last,
years old, yeah. There's been a lot of memories out there, a lot of tributes out there. A bit of trivia that I didn't know. What was the first powerbomb Sid Vicious delivered? Who took it after his leg injury?
Oh, I saw this.
I didn't know.
I do know. Sami Zayn.
Yeah,
And
Sami Zayn.
Not the person he was often confused with. It was not that other luchador El Generico. It was legit. I don't know. Was he going by Sami Zayn at that time?
No, he wasn't going by Sami Zayn. It was like just like a
regular
regular generic. Like he looked like he was literally out of training, basically. So yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. But
that's crazy. I did not. I didn't hear that.
I saw this clip earlier in the week when everyone was posting Sid stuff.
What was some of y'all's favorite memories about Sid, Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious? And Mike, I know you have a lot.
Well, yeah, but it's funny because looking back, obviously at the time, I hated him. But, what led us to our 97 Royal Rumble and Sean winning was what happened at Survivor Series in New York that November before. But honestly, looking back, and I want to say this in general, I don't think he ever really gets enough credit for how fans were drawn to him every time in every iteration of who he was. Yeah. If you want to talk about he never quite made it huge because of his personality or the way he did things, that's another discussion. But I don't think it can be argued that people were into him in his different iterations. Like, it really sucked at the time as the Sean fan that New York loved what he was doing. Sean, and they talked about that all the time, that he was getting cheered for beating up Sean and Jose Lothario. But yeah, you think about how many times that guy was brought in. You know, he had a WrestleMania main event with The Undertaker
Yeah.
a couple years later. Like, I mean, you don't think of him as a great necessarily, but then when you go back and look at like, you know, the sheet of what he's done, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Actually, that WrestleMania main event was the same year as the '97 Rumble. Because because there was the Final Four in your house because Steve Austin got eliminated, nobody caught him. He came back and threw it out. And then Shawn Michaels lost his smile.
Yep.
So the winner of that Final Four was Bret Hart. He was crowned champion, and then I think Raw the next night, Sid versus Bret Hart. Steve Austin interfered, and without the ref seeing it, hit Bret Hart and cost him the title. So Sid won the title the next night after Final Four, and the challenger was Undertaker at WrestleMania 17.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and Jason, I think they were they weren't the Twin Towers, they were the skyscrapers. Him and Dan Spivey.
You mentioned the '97, yeah. Of course, my introduction to him, I had been out of wrestling. I mean, I watched it as a kid. I got out of it. I was starting to get back into it with the Monday Night Wars, and then Mike and I are going to high school together. He says, "Hey, I got tickets to the Rumble. My dad really doesn't want to take me. Do you want to go?" Sure. So, that was I mean, we saw the promos all over. Sid attacked Jose Lothario, and the New York fans cheered. It was all over San Antonio that year. And we were out for revenge. Let's get 70,000 people. Go ahead, Mike. Say what you
Okay, well, no, but funny story with the Jose Lothario connection. He had two sons.
Yeah.
I think at least two. One of them was the older one who had some training and got powerbombed on a Raw in the lead up to Royal Rumble. I think he got either chokeslam or powerbomb through a table backstage.
Okay.
The younger brother, I worked with a few years later at a Mexican restaurant
Dios, yeah.
where Jose Lothario actually made the chairs that they put next to the the front counter where you paid. He apparently legit made these chairs where you either waited for a to-go order or like waiting for a seat.
How have I never heard this story?
First of all, Theo's on Bandera. I don't know what it is now. That was a great restaurant.
It's like a weird sports bar, I think.
Yeah, it's not a sports bar, but I sat in those chairs waiting for a table many times after church, I know exactly which ones you're talking about. And yeah, Jose, first, I got to tell this to Jose Lothario to his face. My grandmother on my dad's side was a huge wrestling fan. Huge. Like, how old she was, if we were visiting her and there was Lucha Libre on TV, nobody bothered her. She's watching it. I'm probably sitting there watching. That's where my fandom comes from. But Jose Lothario was her all-time favorite. And she passed away, oh, God, it was 2001, I think. I can't, it's been so long now. She passed away, and so I got to see Jose Lothario actually when the Bijou screened The Wrestler. And so that's where I got to meet Jose Lothario, got to shake his hand, take a picture with him, and have it somewhere, and just tell him that my grandmother was a huge fan of yours. She passed away years ago, but it was pretty cool. And of course, he passed away not too long ago. But yeah, that was such the hype. That was my introduction to Sid. Was this evil a-hole who attacked Shawn Michaels? It was we're gonna pack the dome with 70,000 people, 70,000 San Antonians, all against this one huge psycho Sid. And yeah, I mean, he took the heat. You find out years later, Shawn was like really sick that day, which explains why the match was a bit slow at times. But Sid really had to carry it through, and it still made it great. I mean, that roar after Shawn got the pin was just like an NBA Finals Spurs game. Let me tell you,
it was.
And years later, I think even later that summer, it was the whole U.S. versus Canada thing. And I remember a Raw in San Antonio. The Hart Foundation's in the middle of the ring. They're flying the Canadian flag. And I think this is where they really introduced the U.S. side of it. You had Shawn come out. You had Steve Austin. You had the Patriot, who hadn't been seen. And then Psycho Sid comes out, and he's getting cheered in a town that literally hated him about 6 months ago. So it was pretty cool. It was just amazing that, for him, he was such a chameleon as far as, he could be hated or cheered anywhere he went. And for, yes, we hated the crap that you did to Shawn and Lothario. Oh, but those Canadian assholes are saying this about the U.S. and you're on the U.S. side. Cool. So
we need a hero.
Yeah, it's just always an appreciation for him. His promos were like intense, but not like too crazy intense, a la Ultimate Warrior or Scott Steiner. But because you can understand what he was saying, but is still pretty amazing. And I always loved his pyro with the Sid like that. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, any memories of Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid that you want to share?
Nothing like as it was happening, because I think that was during the period when I really was watching after my aunt passed. But I always did love seeing, like going back watching clips of him, and like, one of the few bright spots of, last days of WCW was, him, minus the leg break, which is that was
Nasty.
disgusting. Yeah, but I did like when they were doing the Raw Legends coming and beating up Heath Slater. That was one of my favorite moments ever, when his music played and he came out.
That was actually.
Well, it was funny because it was such a stark contrast. Because his music because his music is so psychopathy and everything, as it should be. But like he came in, but like Heath Slater's like what the hell? But like he's like fist bumping fans and everything, because he's just like that kind of guy. It's like and the fans are cheering for him, and like his power bomb just looked like the most painful thing you could take at that point, because like he's so tall and it's like you're going up that much higher and then you're being released. It's like, his
look deadlier than Kevin Nash's, and especially when you compared him at the time, Sid's looked just so much more disgusting.
Because I figured out why. Because Kevin Nash, he would lift him up and he would like maybe like get you about where his chest was, and then drop you down with the jacket.
More let you go, really. Yeah,
more let you go. Sid would get you all the way up on his shoulders, and then not only he would help gravity kill you. So it's like Sid, gravity doesn't need any help. Sid. Okay.
I feel like I remember there were some times where he would go down to the knee with it.
He would.
When he was when he was dropping that power bomb.
Yeah. So it just overall, I feel like he didn't get enough credit while he was around.
No.
I think someone said it in a comment. It's like, it's a shame we give people these flowers after they're gone, because he should have been in the Hall of Fame already. And I was like, I agree. I feel like with other people who've been in the Hall of Fame, it's like, why wasn't Sid in there? Of course, I said got a few people.
Actually, what's even sadder is apparently he posted sometime in the fall of last year. I think when he was diagnosed, I don't know if he had just been diagnosed or he was in the middle of still being with it. Like, basically, really hope to get in the Hall of Fame this year or something. Like, time's running out, basically, something along those lines. And it's just really sad now. So.
Yeah, great. Now I feel much worse.
Sorry, but I saw that too, and I was like,
damn.
Yeah. It sucks because maybe they might have been planning to. Maybe they're going to reach out about it, and then this happens. And obviously now it has to happen. I mean, it sucks he won't be there to appreciate it. You hope his family is around, gives their blessing for it, because he definitely deserves it. On so many levels. He was such a big part of WWE and WCW in those years. So
WCW and
that was the moment I remember. I saw that clip when he beat up Bubba Ray and Devon, which is just good TV, because he beat the crap out of. I don't know. He always did this a lot of times. I know he had tights, because I just saw Jason's comment and him wearing sneakers makes me look more vicious. But like a lot of times in like his later career, he would just wear jeans.
Yeah,
that was just I don't know why I like that. It's just like he's like, I could put on tights and everything, but I could kick your ass wearing a pair of jeans.
Also, sometimes really long, like jeans that had been cut to jean shorts.
Yeah.
But you're right.
It's probably went to TJ Maxx and just did that. So
I mean,
let's see. PCO knows him a lot. He didn't even know he. Wow. I mean, it's one of those things you just keep quiet. I mean, you don't want to hoopla about it. You're going through it. It's difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things.
Yeah. Now that you say that, I don't know if I ever remember hearing that. He had cancer. So.
Me neither.
I don't think I knew either. Yeah.
It's I mean, you look at that. I mean, Chadwick Boseman, nobody knew he had cancer either. He kept that kind of quiet.
Yeah.
So
anniversary of his passing was just the other day.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it was just the other
4
day.
years, right?
4 years, yeah. Because that's when and one reason I remember that is because one of my Facebook yearly things, I put a lot of Chadwick Boseman pictures up, and I said officially this year sucks worse than 2016, and I hate 2016. Like seriously, take that whole year and dump it in the trash. Same with 2020. So,
yeah. All right. Final bit of wrestling news, and this kind of relates to what we have upcoming locally. United 210 is having some big press conference tomorrow at the Yard. Mike is going to go out there and cover it for us. I think you're going to live stream it from our Facebook page, most likely.
That's the plan. We'll see how that
Yeah.
goes. But yes.
Pray there's a good Wi-Fi connection on the south side. But
Yeah.
yeah, he'll stay tuned to our Facebook page. What time is the press conference tomorrow?
7:30.
Uh,
And it apparently has to do with I think it's their November show, or if it's just their next show. This is how we do it, is what the name of it is called.
oh,
So
snap. Montel Jordan's coming.
fingers crossed. That's what my hope is. Montel Jordan in the house at the Yard.
Man. Okay, if that happens, text me. I'll leave work.
Because if that happens, then the entire South Side is singing that song with him. Because I know
sure.
we all know the words. All right, and I've seen the people that are at the Yard, that are at 210 United shows. They know the words. Trust me. If you're watching, I know you know the words.
There's a dad joke about that song. So,
which part?
Montel Jordan opened up his own plant store. You know what he called it? This is how we grew it.
Yeah. Look, here's all I'm going to say. If Montel Jordan shows up, if he ever has a show too legit to quit, my God, you know who's coming for that one for sure. So,
well, look, now we just got to start naming songs, shows after songs that we want the artists to show up.
United 210 Shoop. Here comes Salt and Pepper.
United 210 Poison.
I'm so there if Bill Biv DeVoe is over there.
United 210 Return to the Mac. Let's do it. Come on. Come on, Sustache.
United 210 don't go chasing waterfalls. If we're bringing people, better get
look. If Chili is coming to San Antonio for anything,
I'm saying,
especially a wrestling show, yo.
I might start singing Confessions though if she's there.
Wait, All I Want for Christmas. That's a weird name for
Oh, Little John. It's gonna be Little John's version. All I really want for Christmas. If you haven't heard Little John's Christmas, if you haven't heard it, guys, go search it. All I Really Want for Christmas by Lil Jon. It is honestly Tina just heard me. It is the best Christmas song like ever.
We didn't even say Loretto.
Screw you, Mariah Carey. It's the best. It's the best. Yeah, go ahead.
All I really want for Christmas. All I really want for Christmas. Is everything on my list, baby. Hey.
No, I don't believe that. There wasn't a cuss word or in like.
There's no cuss word. What? Like literally, we're playing it before softball tournaments at Christmas time. None. It's clean.
It's a clean song.
Yes.
So
that's amazing.
Good.
I didn't know Lil Jon did those.
Yeah, he did.
That was weird.
All right, I'm gonna go stand anyways. I'll let you guys. Well, honestly, I kind of have to talk more about this. Let's quickly recap. Hybrid experience took place this past weekend. Obviously, I was at a softball tournament all day. First off, shout out to Attenuated
I was at
Sharks.
Dog Pound too. I completely forgot about that. I was at Dog Pound this weekend.
Shout out to Attenuated Sharks. It was the first tournament with this whole new group of girls, and man, they played great. Lost the first game, a little bit of sleep, but man, they came back, tied a really tough team. Won the first game together as a group, and then lost in the semis by 4. But still, amazing showing. Both Audie pitched great. Our other pitcher, JoJo, she pitched amazing as well, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I saw Angel's comment. I was gonna say.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's not enough room on that street on the south side.
Yeah, the whole south side will be able to hold all the Swifties.
I should have known with Angel and Izzy around.
Yeah.
We respect it.
Okay. Anyway, so lo and behold, we got out of the tournament, headed home, changed real quick, head on over to Hybrid. We got there during the 4th match, but we were there in time to see Izzy right after intermission. So I happened to be there before Mike and Tommy, and then Tommy showed up later.
Yeah,
and Mike showed up.
I got there in time to see Izzy's match. Yeah.
I got to see Izzy's match. She actually had to hightail it not too long after because she had a show in Florida the next day. But highlight of the night, at least for me, obviously from Casey Black was winning the championship.
Yes.
Don Juan and the wrestler formerly known as Sin Cara. I forget what his new name is. I'm sorry. Sid de Oro. We had told the kids this guy used to be at WWE, really good, and that is all Joaquin would talk about on the drive home after the show. Oh.
What'd you do?
Weird.
I can still hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, something happened with my
don't go into the
camera.
light.
Oh, so have with your actual camera.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
hold on
crazy.
a second.
Okay.
Well, I do want to say one thing, and this is, I think I told Todd, or maybe I told Jason this at the show. I don't remember. Shout out to luchadors because they get thicker and they still fly through the air.
Oh, you told me that. Yeah.
Okay, and I don't mean this as an insult. I really don't. But formerly Sin Cara showed up and he was thicker. It's what it was.
Yeah.
And the dude was still pulling off things like he was old Sin Cara.
Yeah.
Also, real quick before we move on, I have to make this joke. Angel, what if we call it Cruel Summer, but Bananarama shows up instead?
Wow.
Or Ace of Base.
Yeah.
Or Ace of...
They covered it too.
I wanted the 80s version because I love that from Karate Kid. So.
Yeah,
or if it's Ace of Base, it's got to be called I Saw the Sign. That's got to be the show we do.
Yeah.
So. Okay, that's it. I gotta become a millionaire because now I gotta book this shit because now I gotta just name random songs that I like and just have because and there will be a show called Welcome to the Black Parade. So,
but yeah, it's back to that. It was such a thrill to see Don Juan get that kind of a match, and I was pretty excited about it. It went really well. Oh jeez. Anyway,
no disrespect, Angel. We're just older, okay?
We're showing our age here, people. Right? We're showing our age here. But Mike, I want to ask you, you are such a big fan of Casey Blackrose, and how amazing was it for you to see him win a championship?
Yeah, I think we got this. I think 7, but I think he said 11 over the 2 matches.
He did one earlier in the
or he did 4. But no, it was really cool. He's one of the first people we interviewed. In fact, he might be the first since I had come back into stuff. And just to see over these last 2 years, the changes, the work he's put in, almost when he started realizing how good he is and the support that he was getting from the crowd, because that crowd was going mental for him.
For sure.
When I first got there, he was just coming off being a heel, and I think in the Texas multi-wrestling verse, in fact, I think him and Brandon were still heels for a lot of the shows we were at when I was first coming back. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. But Callie forever lives in this. You're good. It's okay. I know Tom.
Okay. Okay, Angel. Okay. Of
all the people, I didn't expect. I mean, I know she said something a while ago, but damn, that's hilarious.
Okay, Angel. Okay.
Back to Casey. But to see as far as
Angel, why are you talking shit? Jesus Christ.
To see him realize how good he really is, it was awesome. And I got this one photo. I shared two. I shared one of him in the corner holding up the belt, and then there's one after the show where he's on sitting on the apron. He's just leaning back on the ropes and he's kind of got his eyes closed, and it just has that picture of kind of taking it all in. I think of that picture of Popovich after the 2014 title, where he's just sitting on the bench soaking it all in.
Yeah.
He's just got that feeling like you accomplished so much. But now he's got to defend that with those dastardly Texas treats. I'm sure thinking of ways to cheat with Vance Jackson to come after him. So
hey, well, one of them did give him the real championship belt, at least after.
I mean, I think there's a difference between Texas Treat Chris Marvel and Coach Marvel.
Coach.
That's
Chris
true.
Right. So I don't know if that was the same person per se.
Yeah.
Couldn't be.
Like Ryan and Gordon Reynolds, if you will. All right. Thank you.
That was good. That was really good.
All right. Let's talk about All In.
Oh, real quick, the Dog Pound show was amazing.
Sorry.
No, I forgot. So Soda and Homicide were the main event, and they killed it. It was really good.
Nice.
I didn't get to go.
How was the Natalia Markova versus Misty Marks match?
She actually wasn't there.
What?
She wasn't, so she faced Tina
which
Nix.
one?
But Natalia Markova challenged her to another match, and this time inside a steel cage.
Ah.
So
Well, we know how Misty does inside of steel cages. So
yeah, didn't that. So this will they're gonna do this till they're 90, but no.
All right. Well,
sorry.
Let's get into All In. There's a lot we can talk about. Believe me. We could talk for days about the main event. So we'll kind of hold off on the main event. Aside from the main event, Mike, what stands out to you as like your biggest moment of the night?
Biggest moment?
Yeah. Something that I guess match, whatever.
There's my biggest moment, and then there's AEW's biggest moment.
Okay.
My biggest moment, obviously, is the new. Okay, I called it Blackpool Bastard Club last week. Now that Pac's part of the team, and then I forgot who it was. In fact, Angel, it might have been you that just went Bastard Combat Club, and that makes so much more sense because it keeps the letter in order.
Yeah.
Anyway, they are your new trios champion. Also, it looks like Pac is in, and Moxley may be out of his own accord if you watched Dynamite. So interesting things happening there. I don't know, but interesting. But honestly, outside of that kind of personal bias for Claudio, I think the MJF Ospreay match was insane.
Yeah.
I love the story they told, and JC, I know you loved the tie-in to Assassin's Creed, and
that was so good.
I don't know. I assume it was the actual voice actor, but to do the Ezio voice was cool as anything.
First off, yes, that was the actual voice actor, Ezio Auditore, from the I'll call it the Assassin's Creed 2 trilogy because there's really 3 games.
Right.
But yeah, what a way to promote the new Assassin's Creed. And honestly, I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan. I'm a completionist when it comes to those games. I try and find every single puzzle. And
Good Lord.
Yeah,
God bless you.
I did a puzzle in Assassin's Creed 2, and it was one of those that revealed all this stuff and all these like animus things. And it listed, this was back in Assassin's Creed 2, it listed everything they were going to explore. I took a picture, and I saw their feudal Japan. I have been waiting for this next one.
I remember that.
Catch up on a few.
I remember a lot of people talking about that, Louis.
I played a couple of the series. Now I played, I think 1 and 2, just like, and I fell out. But I want to play Shadows because feudal Japan, sign me up.
First of all, my personal favorite is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. That is my personal favorite. That's the second of the Assassin's Creed 2 trilogy. I'm still a bit behind. I've got to finish Unity. I've got to play Odyssey, Valhalla. I've got a lot to play. But anyway,
I've heard a lot of good things about Valhalla.
Yeah. Ospreay, MJF, that literally stole the show for me. And I felt so bad for Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker because you had to follow that. Every match had a great story to tell. Some, could have. I mean, I thought Jack Perry and Darby Allin was a little short, but we got the stick.
It was apparently because of they like in England they have to be done by 10 or I think it's 10 their time or something.
It's like a curfew or something like that, I guess.
Yeah. So they literally was cut short for reasons.
But Ospreay made his entrance. And you're watching this, and I'm watching this thinking, God, I picked MJF. I'm pretty sure Ospreay is going to win now.
Yeah.
And then MJF topped that entrance. And I'm hard for me to say that because the Assassin's Creed thing was so cool. But MJF's entrance in England, full on American flag waving, coming out like robes, like Apollo Creed shorts into Lex Luger tights, and then the American flag with his face on the stars. Tina and I were dying laughing how great that was.
The only reason I won't give it better than the Ospreay is because he stuck to his theme and he didn't choose living in America. And if you're going to do
that's a good point. That's actually a really good point.
Apollo Creed entrance, You do the whole.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Mike.
First of all,
sure.
I'm pretty sure half the budget went to the final countdown, so they couldn't get Living in America. So if that's the reason, all right.
But Street money recoup that. I don't believe that for a second.
Ubisoft's trying to promote the game; they'll happily pay that shit. But honestly, like even he changed the color of the scarf to red, white, and blue, at least on the the thing. So,
and no, Jason's right. It totally looks like.
Yeah, there we go. Oh,
okay.
Anyway,
it totally looks like Lex Luger Express trunks and tights. Am I frozen or are they frozen? I don't know, and I'm a little scared.
Oh. Sorry, I lost connection for some reason.
Okay, I think we all did. Are we all there now? Yeah, we're all good.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we're freezing again.
Yeah, I'm here. Oh.
I don't know whose fault it is. I don't think it's mine. I don't know which of us you can hear. Are we here? I'm here. So am I frozen?
Can anybody hear me?
JC's back. Yes. Can you hear me?
All right.
JC, can you hear me?
Connection here, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm still live. Okay.
JC, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
If you can see us, please comment.
Oh, this is weird.
Okay, I see all of you guys.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Restream went down.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Do you hear me, Tommy?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, so JC doesn't hear us?
Yeah, I see and hear JC. Hold on.
I hear him. He doesn't hear us.
Yeah. That's weird.
So yeah, if you're out there, guys, comment who you can see or who you can hear. If we're still there, let me check.
Yeah.
Let me see what's going on.
Can you hear any of us?
Yeah.
God, I can't. Okay, I'm gonna.
Okay, Tommy, I think me and you are still live. I think JC's frozen.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're out there, guys,
y'all are frozen to me. Hold on a second. Let me jump out and come back in.
That's weird. Yeah,
let me see what's going on.
Angel tried to type y'all 3 times before she got it right.
Angel, you're from Texas. Come on now. No, I'm kidding.
I can see y'all yell.
No, it's Texas. Y'all is legit.
Yeah.
I was just looking real quick at the phone, and it looks like me and you were good.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about JC. I think his was still frozen the whole time.
Yeah, and now he's kind of gone. Because I know he said he's going to pop out and pop back in. Maybe he's restarting his computer.
Yeah, also that might take a while.
Yeah. Jesus spelling it out.
I appreciate it. You were concerned, and you were making sure to throw it in there as soon as possible. Here he comes.
Yeah, there he is.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
You hear us?
Wow, that was so weird. Y'all were like literally frozen, and I couldn't see or anything.
So the thing was, me and Tommy could hear each other. You were frozen to us, and I'm pretty sure on the stream you were the only one frozen.
Yeah.
Because I went to my phone real quick.
All right.
Well. Yeah.
That was weird.
But then people were trying to help us in the chat. So
yeah.
Okay.
Jason and Angel always loyal to us. We appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Okay, where was I? Oh, so yeah, MJF and Ospreay stole the show. Great story to tell.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Monet and Britt Baker having to follow that.
That's what we were saying. Because I said, okay, because my thing is people have been way too hard on them for their match. It wasn't like, the best ultra match or anything like that, but it was a good match. They just had the unenviable task of following Ospreay and MJF, which just was not fair.
It wasn't. The ending was kind of abrupt, and people are really, really harsh on Mercedes since she's come to AEW. It's like they really have this vitriol that she left WWE. Yeah. But I will say one thing. I think she needs to work on an alternate finisher.
I'll agree with that.
Because it's a cool looking move when it hit right. When it doesn't, it does look awkward.
Yeah.
I'll agree with
that. But other than that, I don't think the match was as bad as people made it out to be. I don't know what they were expecting. But well, congrats and good luck tomorrow, Angel, on your first performance.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the spelling then. You're okay.
Yeah. Well, we're not talking about one of the unsung heroes of the night. Well, unsung match heroes of the night, and that's Toni Storm and Mariah May.
Yeah.
Which I feel like lived up to all the hype and then some. And Mariah May, I agree, was the right call to win that.
Yeah.
So
she was the right call, but I feel like that match, I feel like they had something to prove. The fact that they were going on second and they're put in a billing where the TBS championship is meaning, personally, the way they set the card up, it felt like the TBS championship was meaning more than the AEW Women's World Championship.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that, honestly. And I feel they didn't either, because they went out there and beat the crap out of each other. They told a great story.
They did.
And honestly, it was all so well done. A bit surprised by the way Mariah May got some heat in her home country too.
I think her mother apparently.
Yeah, no, when she slapped her mom, that was what helped.
Because when I saw the clip, I assumed it was Tony Storm's mom.
Nope, that was her mom.
I know, and then I was like, oh, that's horrible.
Yeah,
what's wrong?
But I think that's because it's one of those cases where she wants to lean fully into the villainy, and also Tony Storm has just been untouchable since his gimmick took off.
Yeah.
And it's like even in England, which is, Mariah May's home turf, you can't deny the star power that's been timeless Tony Storm. It's like that of all the gimmicks that AEW has come up with, I think this is certainly the top 5. Her and the Acclaimed are like that is their claims to fame with those two teams, with those two acts.
Speaking of which, one of the best moments on commentary was actually during this Mariah May Tony Storm match, when you hear Nigel McGuinness say this very demure when he's talking about them.
Yeah,
I'm of the whole stop trying to make demure happen, but that was hilarious to hear Nigel McGuinness trying to say that. Speaking of which,
I was going to say, speaking of Nigel McGuinness,
he showed up later as part of the Casino Gauntlet match,
and my little Ring of Honor heart grew 3 times that day.
He was involved with it. Zack Sabre Jr.
Ricochet.
Yeah.
No, hold on. I love the way they did it for McGuinness, though, because he got the kiss on the head or cheek, whatever, from Mariah May during the match. And then after that, he was like, oh. And then they were like, oh, he had to take a break. He had to go off, and calm down, basically. And then, a couple matches later, boom, there he is.
And 2 things real quick. First of all, when that happened, I don't know if you guys heard Taz on commentary. He said, wait, do I have to come to work on Saturdays now? Which was one of the greatest lines I've ever heard. He said, color commentators get involved tonight. And also, when Zack Sabre Jr. and Nigel McGuinness were in the ring together, 6 to midnight doesn't even begin to cover it, my friends. I was like, oh, yeah, that's that good stuff right there.
I'll say an underrated moment is this: Orange Cassidy versus Okada. Call it dream match, call it what you want. I want to see that match.
Yeah.
Honestly, we had a missed opportunity where we could have had Cassidy's kicks.
But also the fact that Zack Sabre Jr. and Okada got to be in the ring again, I was like, yes, let's keep making these things happen.
On top of that, the best pyro of the night, Orange Cassidy. Not only one there, but one off the roof of Wembley.
Okay. Done. I couldn't stop laughing. I said yes.
Never mind all the shit Bryan Danielson got at the end of the night. That one pyro.
It didn't matter.
Yes.
The one pyro and the one outside. I wouldn't believe someone thought it was a mistake when that one outside went off.
No, I wanted to see them putting that one up while they were waiting and having all of Bryan Danielson's going. They're like, hold on.
Yeah.
There's the Orange Cassidy one.
And I love his reaction. He's like, oh, that's whatever. It's just cool.
Oh my God. The one pyro.
Oh my God.
I was like, that's genius.
Yeah.
I don't care how much Jim Cornette hates Orange Cassidy. This is one of the greatest acts in pro wrestling.
You know what was another underrated moment of that show?
What was that?
When Fozzy stopped playing.
Oh.
I'm over all of it.
So aren't you happy you lost then? The learning tree done with him? I mean, come on. So.
I'm over contrast to that, all of that.
As a hip hop fan, especially the Houston scene, shouts out to Bun B being there, and I know, and there was a picture of Bun B, Brian Keith backstage at one point. And I know that made him happy as all get out, because if you love Houston rap, especially back in the mid 2000s, UGK were the undisputed kings at the time. So that was really cool.
Tommy, you're very diverse.
I hear that a lot, actually, especially when it comes to music.
You go from the Houston rap scene to the many different anime to
you should
wrestling.
You should see my music playlist. It's as insanely diverse. The fact that when I can go from UGK to Adele to My Chemical Romance to someone covering Beethoven or Vivaldi. Yeah, I'm a mixed bag of nuts. So
Okay, I was like CJ or CIGA. I was like, there's several things that were just said. I didn't know which facts, but he said H.
yeah, but I think I went right before he typed it in. But yeah, the H Town thing. It's like to see Bumby getting all this kind of like all these accolades now. It's well deserved, well earned.
Although I saw someone said, okay, for all the things you go crazy about England, if that would have happened in America, it was like the pop for them would have been so much bigger than what y'all gave him.
For who? Bun B?
Well, for like all the him and the other guys. I don't know. The other guys.
Garment.
Like all of them there.
It
wasn't bad.
It really would have depended because Bundy, he is a international. Well, he's a national act, well known, but he would have got a good reaction anywhere else in America if they had done that. If they had done that, like they probably might do when they might do it all in next year.
Oh, gotcha.
If they had done that in Houston, the crowd would have lost their ever loving crap. Well, it's like I don't know if I told you guys this when Brian Keith debuted with AEW and he came out to Still Tipping on Ring of Honor. We lost our minds.
Oh, I remember you talking about that.
Dude, we lost our crap with Still Tipping played. Oh yeah, I'd go from Taylor Swift to Linkin Park, Angel. Like I do have Taylor Swift songs. I like Taylor Swift. I think she's pretty cool. So,
yeah. Speaking of Linkin Park, I can't wait for the 5th because I don't know what.
Dude, what are they doing? What are they doing? They're driving me crazy. What are they doing? Sorry, we're talking about wrestling. Never mind.
Yeah, I know.
Final countdown.
Well, they counted down, and then it was counting.
They said 95.
And it was counting up, but when it got to 9:05, it glitched again. So it's okay. It's got to be September 5th. Yeah.
Tell me the things. Yeah. Give me the things. I want all the things. Sorry.
Among everything that has happened at All In, we haven't talked about the main event, and it is worth talking about.
Because who has that much time? And
yeah, we'll try and keep this short, but man, they really sold this that this was it.
Yeah.
Brie Bella was there with the kiddos. I mean, Swerve was sitting there beating their dad right in front of him. That is, yeah. You thought this was
I was about to say this. Props to Swerve for being the absolute supervillain in this story. Because I know he could do it anyway, but dude, he was like, they're probably. I wonder what the meeting was like. Hey, Swerve, can you be the villain in this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he have to go, meet the kids beforehand and be like, look, I'm going to be beating your daddy up pretty bad. His face is going to be bloody, but we love each other, honestly.
Or afterwards, he was like, hey, guys, we were just having fun. Because I think, who did that I think Edge did that for AJ Styles' kids afterwards.
Yeah.
So they probably did something like that. So,
Tommy, you were the only one that did not pick Bryan Danielson to win this match. We talked about it. So are you surprised by the result?
I am, but pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
Because I was thinking that he would that Danielson would go out in front of a large crowd like that, but you guys are right. Go in front maybe his hometown or something like that. Pretty sooner rather than later. But I was surprised, but pleasantly so because of the fight we got out of it. Because good God, they pulled out all the stops. So yeah, I mean I was surprised, but at the same time. I'm not mad, not upset. I'll take that L.
Yeah, and
go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say we talked about this a little bit before we got on the air, but I will put that crowd specifically during the main event, against any crowd we've talked about in the last 6 years that we've been doing this show.
Yeah.
They went insane, and when Danielson started kicking out and they started hitting those false finishes. Every time he survived, they went nuts.
Yep.
They were starting to get the yes chant, and so Swerve, like a great heel, started doing the motion, and all of a sudden it killed them, and they were like, no, and he was doing it so slow, so they couldn't get a rhythm either. I was like, oh, you evil bastard.
And that's why even though he's been faced most of his title reign, they were saying like, "Hey, you need to be the supervillain." He's like, "Cool, got it." So Storm just understood the assignment. So
yeah. To be honest with you, this whole show was a masterclass in storytelling. It really was.
It was.
But yeah, that crowd, it is about even as the Puerto Rico crowd at Backlash.
I think so.
Crowd was amazing, and this was definitely there. But yeah, the story, the back and forth, the false finishes, is it or won't it? And we'll watch this like it can't be over. It just can't.
One of the greatest moments to me was Swerve kind of brushing off the Busaiku knee when Daniel hit it.
Yes.
I legit was like, yo, you
Yeah.
don't do that in pro wrestling. You don't. That's the knee that beat John Cena. You don't brush that off. And
Well-
and Swerve, he's like, he gives that sadistic laugh, but I was like, I love that. So
Because even the announcer's like, he's out on his feet. Oh no, he's not.
yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I know, it's not a weird thing, but it's like, some people have something to say about it. But I did like the Hangman not run in, but attempt at a run in,
Right.
because like for one, it kept the match still 1-on-1, and like they can't say, oh, Hangman cost him the match. No, because because all he did was distracted for a minute. That didn't really cost him the match, because like Hangman didn't get to do anything.
Yeah.
But it also set up perfectly for what happened the following Dynamite, which Swerve is such a son of a bitch, but I love him for it. So.
Yeah.
I honestly, I can't wait for what comes next.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't know. Brian Danielson, we know his career is coming to an end at some point. Like he's talked about that before. But the fact that he's got a match with Christian Cage coming down, because Christian Cage won the Gauntlet match, and in my head I'm like, oh, these promos are gonna be good,
Yeah.
And I don't know if they plan for this at obviously not All Out. I don't think.
No, All Out. The next one looks like it's going to be
Jack Perry.
Jack Perry, yeah. Maybe is Full Gear next? Yeah, Full Gear's in November.
Well, here's the thing. He
or whatever
cash it in.
Sorry,
it doesn't have to be set.
Oh come on! Why are you freezing?
Oh man, what happened?
Mike froze.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hold on a second. Hopefully he'll break out of it.
Yeah. And second now. Yeah. Okay. Nope, not yet.
Yeah.
But I think what he was alluding to is, oh wow, he's gone. This has been a crazy night, and hasn't been my fault. That's weird.
All right, Mike. What? It didn't say what. That's where you let off.
Well, that was great. It's a cash-in opportunity. It doesn't have to be set as a main event at a pay-per-view down the road.
Oh, it's a cash-in. I thought it was going to be a match.
No. So they announced that either on Saturday night at Collision or maybe in the pre-show. But it's a cash-in opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of people were thinking, because a lot of people thought when they announced that Hangman would win the Gauntlet and potentially throw himself into that main event.
It actually, once Christian won that, I was like, oh, my pick is wrong. It's gonna be Brian's gonna win.
Yeah.
So I mean, he could. It just depends on how they want to do that. But now you have that. You have that potential sitting there. So.
Yeah.
I honestly believe, and this is what I honestly believe, that Christian's going to try to cash in, and I honestly think Luchasaurus is going to cost him.
Okay.
It's weird because he helped him win.
That's why I think he's going to cost him.
Okay.
No, but that's something you got to be careful with, because if you don't eventually actually pull the trigger, because they've teased it at least 3 times in the association of Luchasaurus with Christian Cage, where we thought he was turning. We thought, in fact, I think he did once with Jungle Boy, and then went right back to him like at the next show or whatever.
He did.
So you got to be careful with that, because at some point, if you keep teasing it and he keeps helping, it's gonna be like they're gonna stop caring about him in a sense.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with that. But I agree. I do think that's eventually coming. But I wouldn't also mind some Money in the Bank-esque false cash-ins or attempts that get thwarted for different ways. And also, I don't know if he said this last night, because I didn't get to see all the Dynamite, so I haven't seen everything. But I saw, or a post, that basically he said he will retire when he loses the belt.
I think I don't know if that's what he said verbatim, but I think that he said something like that. Yes,
along those lines. So
yeah,
we'll retire from in-ring work. I have a feeling he'll work some
right.
backstage kind of thing. Yeah, so
sure, but so hopefully, kind of a decently long title reign through the fall. So
yep, maybe through Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe he defends in Wrestle Kingdom, because isn't there like a day 2 Wrestle Kingdom in like the U.S. soil or something like that?
Yes.
Probably.
Hold on.
Yeah. So
you guys keep talking. I'm gonna look that up because I remember that.
While he's looking that up, I'll go ahead and get to our pick results for this. Tina went 4-5. Tommy and I both went 5-4, and Mike 8-1.
Jeez. Oh,
Dang you, the Acclaimed, and the
Yeah, I
Young
know.
Bucks always have.
you know what it is?
Wow.
It's Wrestle Kingdom is January 4th. Wrestle Dynasty is the next night.
Oh,
That's the crossover show.
In U.S. soil, right?
No, it's in Tokyo.
Oh, it's in
no,
Tokyo.
that's right. I
Okay.
remember.
Because it's at the Tokyo Dome too. It's going to be.
Why did I think
AEW
there was like some New Japan show somewhere close in the U.S. soil that's close to Wrestle Kingdom? I don't know.
Because
There is, but I don't think. Damn it! What show was that? Crap! I can't remember what show it is, but there is going to be a show on U.S. soil.
Forbidden Door.
Towards the end of the year. Shit. What is
No, it's not on U.S. soil. Never mind.
Yeah. Wrestle Dream, isn't that coming up, or did that already happen? Did I miss that?
No, that should still be coming up. It's damn it. Capital Collision. No, that's tomorrow.
What? Capital Collision.
Yeah, it's.
They come up with these names. Yeah, so
That's an old name if I remember correctly.
Huh, that is tomorrow, legitimately.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, but no, there's something else, but I can't find it right now.
Also, I told Tommy this earlier, but remind me that tomorrow's a Friday and I still have to go to work tomorrow. For some reason, it felt very Friday today.
But and also, just so you guys know, what is coming up in October is King of Pro Wrestling, and that's where Zack Sabre Jr. is calling a shot for the world title.
Yeah. I'm interested to see not only what happens.
So he's not going to race to Wrestle Kingdom.
Right.
He's calling a shot early.
That's what I'm really intrigued by. Like, not only to see what happens at that show, but then what they do to then get the, how they decide who gets the title shot.
He'll win the title. Somehow they'll bring back Okada to main event Wrestle Kingdom. That's just what they do.
He hasn't made event to that show in years.
And Jeff Cobb will lose to whoever wins that just to make them look good.
Jeff Cobb won something at last Wrestle Kingdom, didn't he? Hold on.
Anyway, let's get into our WrestleCast ratings for All In.
I can't stand y'all.
Tina enjoyed the show. Really just loved it. Some of the matches, Jesus.
Oh, damn. We were having problems tonight.
That joke was so funny. I just I'm done.
So
find out.
But she gave it a 4 out of 5. Some of the matches weren't just. I guess she's still kind of fall behind the storylines and stuff like that. Oh God,
thanks, Angel. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I did say that.
Okay, sorry, that was loud. I'm sorry, but that was funny.
Oh well, at least she let you know. Yeah, so Tina gave it a 4 out of 5. I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5. Jack Perry, Darby Allin. Oh God,
jeez.
It's been happening since we were talking earlier with someone else.
If you need to back out and come back in, go for it. That might help.
I've been hardwired in the whole time. That's why I don't understand.
I don't know. So am I. It's the weird part. 4.5 out of 5 for me. My only couple of complaints is that 3-way tag match was good. Felt like I could have had more from it. And the Casino Gauntlet match, it wasn't really a gauntlet match. A gauntlet match to me is okay, pin someone, the next person comes in. So I don't know. That was kind of unclear to me. But Jack Perry and Darby Allin was a little disappointing because I feel like that could have gone longer. And I know obviously there's time constraints and stuff like that. But the way that was promoted, it was just, the
man had tacked Gorilla Glue to his face.
That's how freaking psycho he is. But yeah, it was a great moment to see Sting come and get in front of the Wembley crowd. That was pretty cool. Definitely enjoyed that. But yeah, I've got to give it a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Tommy, you're next. What do you got?
5.
All right.
There was no chance of me not giving the show a 5 after Danielson winning was a part of it, but seeing Nigel McGuinness back in the ring, we got a Nigel McGuinness Zack Sabre Jr. tease, which I'm positive has to happen at some point. Just all that. There was no way I couldn't give that a 5. No way.
Okay. Mike.
Yeah, I'm the same with him. On the main event and the finish of the show alone. Also, another thing, just kind of putting a bow tie on that main event. I think AEW at the right shows need more moments like this. Because honestly, that ending, that not just the main event itself, but the ending of the show going off like that, I think is those. I mean, honestly, to me, it rivaled WrestleMania 30 for him. This might surpass it just a bit, especially that he's at the end of his career, and that alone makes it a 5. But honestly, we talked about there's very little to complain about throughout the rest of the show. I know the Gauntlet match is weird if you don't understand the way it works, but what was done in the Gauntlet match was flipping awesome. Ricochet coming in and doing more moves in like the first 10 seconds than he was ever allowed to do in a normal WWE match was cool. I'm sorry if you don't like that. I'm sorry if you're one of those that's going to be like, oh, go back to WWE, everything is WWE. Like, he clearly was having fun.
Yeah, he was having a good time.
Pulling out moves and having the matches he used to have, which is what he did, right? I mean, they're two of the biggest things that got him was his stuff in Lucha Underground and that match with Ospreay. That's who he is. That's what he does. He got pretty far and did well for what he could in WWE, but he seems like that's where he belongs. I don't know how else to say it. So
yeah,
give me Ospreay, Ricochet for the International Championship.
Well, they teased that until Pac gave Ospreay a poison rana on the stage when they tried to face each other, and he told him not to look past him, and he told Ricochet to get to the back of the line, which I thought was brilliant. So
I really need to finish watching Dynamite. Apparently,
dude, it was so good because Ospreay was about to talk, and here came Pac out of nowhere with that poison rana. By the way, a poison rana on the stage, like he just like ran up and did it. Pac is not human.
Overall rating for All In 4.625. Amazing show. If you haven't gotten to see it, go check it out. You can go on Bleacher Report, buy it, watch it for a lifetime. You have that free for life.
Main event alone is why you're a wrestling fan.
Yes. And I will say this from what we saw on Dynamite as well. A lot of heavy rumors that with everything going on with Mox and Brina Shafir, that somehow this is going to be the way they introduce Shane McMahon into the fold. Whether he's leading a group of invaders, if you will.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Hey, Casey, the hybrid.
What's up, Casey?
Casey, the hybrid champ. You missed it. We talked about it earlier, but big congrats on your victory. We're all very proud of you.
For some reason, your title win was not JC's favorite match on the show, but that's cool.
I didn't say that.
I did make it in time. I didn't see the whole show, but I ran into you as I walked in. I did make it in time for your match. So, at least the final match. And I think we said 11 backbreakers by the end of the show. So.
Yep.
Anyway, with regard to Dynamite, obviously the Shane McMahon thing, potentially I think this is what's going on with Mox. Here we go.
That is the match at
yes, I forgot about that. Yes.
Casey Black Rose, the belt collector here. What do we got? What's going on here? So, yeah.
He's on his way.
Yep. So you'll be one of the people there. I'll be there covering for us. Maybe afterwards. I know they said we could ask wrestlers questions. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And,
Mike, you're our correspondent for this.
Apparently so.
On-site correspondent. Angel, get some rest. He's got school night for you. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Peace out.
So yeah, we'll see if Shane McMahon is involved with this whole mock storyline they got going on. Some of these promos are a little cryptic. People are going to read into it, but we'll see what they do with it. So, now I know we're running kind of long, so we'll just quickly go through what's happening at Emergence.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
The other pay-per-views. No.
I mean, you got a hell of a show to follow. Everybody that's taking place this weekend.
Yeah.
Now, Emergence is tomorrow night. It is a TNA Plus event. Pre-show is going to be Kushida versus Frankie Kazarian. Then you got Steve Macklin versus Eric Young. Jordan Grace and Spitfire, which is Danny Luna and Jody Threat versus Ash by Elegance and the Militia, Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovich. Then, kind of the beginning of the double duty here. Joe Hendry, Mike Santana, and the Hardys are taking on the System.
This was really nice of NXT to let TNA use Joe Hendry for the show. That
Exactly.
Was really cool.
Exactly.
I thought that was nice of him.
I'll give Tommy a few minutes here. X Division Championship, and this is an Ultimate X match, by the way.
Oh my God!
Mike Bailey, Zachary Wentz, Riley Osborne, Jason Hotch, Hammerstone, and the Laredo Kid.
Well, I know Zachary Wentz ain't winning.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Wesley's going to get involved somehow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well,
yeah.
Zachary. As soon as I was like, well, Zachary Wentz ain't winning that.
Yeah.
So.
And then, of course, the main event, a 60-minute Iron Man match. Nick Nemeth defending against Josh Alexander. Yeah, that match alone is worth the TNA Plus subscription.
And that's why the others are there's like two multiple person tag team matches. Like, all right, we're gonna get to all you guys paid, but this is all about one match. So.
Yeah. So I saw Mike's face there. I know. Off the top of your head, we're not going to check it. Who do you think is winning that Iron Man match?
Okay, I'm gonna say Nemeth.
Okay.
Only because there is talks of Josh Alexander being the next guy that goes over to NXT for a while.
Okay.
So I feel like there'll probably be shenanigans. Although is he a heel right now? He's more heelish, if I'm not mistaken.
Nemeth, kind
No,
of.
not Nemeth. Alexander.
Alexander. He's kind of heelish right now.
Yeah, he kind of
right.
is.
He's more heelish. So yeah, I feel like maybe there may be an NXT involvement that leads to then kind of allows him to go over. I don't know if that's Ethan Page, what have you, because he's the champ over NXT. But yeah, I see something going on, and I just realized. Oh no, that show's not this weekend. That's coming up. But NXT has their pay-per-view. No, it is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Sunday. No Mercy Sunday. Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't looking at the next page.
Okay. Well, TNA Emergence is Friday, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time, pre-show at 6, taking place at the Old Foresters Paris Town Hall in Louisville, Kentucky, exclusively on TNA Plus. Now, I did get an email from TNA because they send this kind of stuff out. Apparently, right now, they're doing a special. If you subscribe to their, I guess it's like their annual like premium version, I think it's like $200 or something, for next year, I have to look up the details again, but apparently you're going to get Bound for Glory this year for free.
Ooh.
Throwing that out there. So, if you need a reason to subscribe to TNA Plus, maybe this is the route you go because that Iron Man match alone has got a lot of people interested. But Bound for Glory is right around the corner. And, of course, if you don't want to pay the service fees to go to TNA when they're in town in a few weeks, you get to watch Victory Road on TNA Plus as well in a few weeks.
Catch all those big names before they wind up in NXT. So
that's true. Yeah. All right. On.
I can't stand it. Sorry, go ahead.
On to Saturday. Last week we got like a midday show for us on a Sunday. Now WWE is doing the same thing on Saturday. They're in Germany. It's Bash in Berlin. We're gonna make picks on these, and we're gonna start with a mixed tag match that, quite frankly, could be the most hype mixed tag match I've ever seen.
Yep.
The Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley versus the Judgment Day team of Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. Tommy, where are you going with this one?
Terror Twins. There's no chance of me picking Judgment Day on this. I refuse. Okay. I don't care if it logically makes sense that they win, and they could probably does make logical sense. I don't care. Terror Twins all day.
All right, Mike.
I think I'm going to go Terror Twins 2. I think there's still obviously a lot more that's going to come out of this feud for a while. Yeah. And I think a match like this doesn't really hurt Liv and Dom to lose. And I'm sure they'll be pulling more shenanigans soon with stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I'm going to go with them. It was just Terror Twins.
I'm pretty sure Judgment Day is getting involved, but I'm going to go with the Terror Twins as well.
Oh, okay. I thought I was going to lone wolf this, actually.
No, but like Mike said, like
I just joking with you. What do you mean?
No, I mean, like
okay.
Like overall, I thought when you said that, I was like, oh, okay. Then Jake was like, damn.
No matter what happens, this is going to keep going on and on for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and but it's still, I think people are hyping this. And God, Dom and Liv are just killing it as heels right now. They really are.
I'm enjoying their heel work. I really am. It's like everyone said. And I think Mike said it too when it happened. Dom managed to turn heel while a heel. I just don't know how you pull that off twice, but he did it. Damn it, this guy's impressive.
Strap match: CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Mike, what are you thinking?
I know I went 8-1 on AEW. I feel like I'm not going to do good on this show. I'm going to go McIntyre because I honestly don't want to see Punk win. I feel like he probably will, though. But
I'm going to go CM Punk. I think this is going to be one of those feuds that goes back and forth for a good while. Again, if you're watching too, please feel free to make your picks as well. Tommy, you look like you're kind of split on this one, but what are you thinking?
I was actually gonna go CM Punk because, and honestly, because JC, you actually took the words right out of my mouth because of the back and forth. I feel like they're just gonna use this to kind of go on and on. Just I feel like that's gonna give him this win here, and then he's gonna get another win back, and blah blah blah, all the way into a Rumble to see who eliminates who. So yeah, I'm going Punk.
Okay. Women's Tag Team Championship, the Unholy Union of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. I've cut the Unholy Union retaining. Yeah, that too.
Call a bad name. I call it.
Yeah. I've got them retaining here. Nothing against Bianca Jade Cargill. That is a hell of a team, but this is Fire and Isla's side of the world, so I'm sticking with them to win this one. Tommy.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Wow, that sentence was dead on arrival. I feel like Blair Davenport is gonna get involved too, no matter what. So that's why I'm thinking Unholy Union's gonna win.
All right, and Mike.
So I won't take credit for this because I saw it on. It probably was Cultaholic. Why are they not called the Blair Witch Project?
Damn it! That would be such a good name.
First of all, like in all seriousness, Isla Dawn or when those two first started, they were portrayed basically as witches in NXT and stuff. Now you add Blair Davenport, and it just fits. So I don't know.
Damn it! That's so good.
Wait till they get on the
I'm mad now. You're right.
It's way better than Pure Fusion Collective or whatever.
Actually, I don't mind that name. I can't lie. I actually like that name.
Anyways, I also think this will be the begin. I think there's going to be a miscue with Bianca and Jade, and I think they're going to start that slow turn, and I think eventually they're looking toward a match. Maybe Royal Rumble, maybe WrestleMania if they keep it that long, but yeah.
All right.
Oh, Jason, don't bring logic in here and things that make sense. Copyright, of course.
Once you get on the independence, there's no copyrights, right? So
yeah, true.
All right, World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther against Randy Orton. I'm just going to write my wife's name next to Randy Orton because I know for sure she's going to be cheering for him.
Not even having a match. She's just, gonna...
Yeah, so that's who she's picking. I'm going with Gunther. Don't see him losing this. I wouldn't be surprised if he holds this title for 2 freaking years.
Seriously.
Yeah, so. Same for you guys,
yeah,
both?
I'm going
Mike,
Gunther.
Tommy?
There's no way I'm taking him losing it that soon.
Yeah.
Especially like a month after getting it. But I definitely Gunther.
All right, and finally, WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Mike, what do you got?
Honestly, I don't see either of these champions losing their belts relatively soon, and I think that's what makes these matches kind of difficult. I do see Kevin Owens showing more of that old Kevin Owens side, which I think could make things interesting.
Yeah.
But we kind of joked about this earlier, but at this point for Cody Rhodes, after overcoming the match he had with Roman at Mania, after overcoming Solo with the way the match was, I think people would be really disappointed if he lost in a more not so many people involved match at this point.
Like a transitional match kind of thing? Yeah.
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 All right. Well, we're all going Cody Rhodes on that one then.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Bash in Berlin, Saturday, August 31st at noon Central Time, pre-show at 11 a.m. Taking place in the Uber Arena in Berlin, Germany. Exclusively in the U.S. on Peacock, and I believe for just about everywhere else internationally on Netflix, because they already have everything over there. Or your traditional pay-per-view. Wow. Again, noon Central Time. So, I know this is coinciding with college football. Yeah, college football season starts this weekend. It actually started tonight. Well, it technically started last weekend
it's so crazy.
Dublin, Ireland.
We're back in football season already.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
but
Sheamus outchose the experts on that show.
So I'm pretty sure I'll be watching some football and have this up on my iPad as well. So.
Are you ready for some football? Okay.
And finally, moving on to Sunday, NXT No Mercy getting a day of their own. And this one has been pretty highly anticipated. As the calendar turns to September, they're kicking things off here. And we're just going to start right at it here. First of two matches where somebody's pulling double duty. We got Zachary Wentz against Wesley. Wentz, of course, is going to be working on Friday in TNA, as is Joe Hendry. But is anyone thinking Wesley does not get the win here with his recent heel turn?
Nah, he's going to win it.
Yeah. So it just honestly makes the most sense here. Again, make some picks here if you're watching us. This was interesting. Women's North American Championship, Kehlani Jordan versus Wendy Chu. Tommy.
I kind of want to say Wendy Chu. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm positive I'm wrong, but I'm going to go with.
I don't know if you watched NXT this past week, but she teamed up basically with Rosemary.
And that's kind of what influenced that.
Yes. So I'm with you 100%. I'm just going to go ahead and jump in here. I don't know if you're going to go, but I'm going Wendy Chu too. Because that.
Okay.
Adding her.
I'd love something, and I didn't.
No. But adding her into. I could be wrong. I don't know. But adding her into that. What is it called? The universe with Rosemary and Jessica Havoc. And when Sue Young was also a part of that.
Damn it.
I forgot they had a name for it for a while.
They did.
Yes, just add it into that because that was fun.
Speaking of which, wishes Sue Young a speedy recovery. I know she's dealing with some injuries right now too.
Yeah.
I know the Rosemary thing. I'm thinking Kehlani Jordan's going to pull this one out, but I'm pretty sure Rosemary's next in line. I don't think she's going to survive that one. So that's the way I'm thinking of it right now. Yeah. Now, one that I'm pretty sure we're all going to agree on: North American Championship, Oba Femi versus Tony D'Angelo. And I know D'Angelo's got all these people around him, but
and I respect that.
This is Oba Femi. Are we picking against him until he loses that at all, like ever?
No, but I will give Tony D'Angelo his props. I think it was 2 weeks ago. He hit a hell of a spine buster on him. So seeing someone who can match a bit of strength with Oba Femi should be pretty cool. Because most of Oba Femi, his matches, obviously he's the more bigger, stronger dude. So no, I still think he'll win, but I think this should be fun. Also, because Tony D'Angelo was not out wrestling, but keeping up with what was the dude who just went to Japan and he was literally.
Oh, I know you're talking about. I can't remember.
He's that other guy who's in No Quarter Cut crew that's part of the group with Ren. But I forget his name. But he's for being so into this mafia gimmick, actually is a hell of a wrestler. So it should be at least a good match.
That just proves that when they call him up and let him run his full character, he's just gonna be entertaining as hell and have great matches. So Tavion Heights.
There you go. Yeah.
By the way, this reminded me, for some reason, I forgot to mention this when we talked about All In. The Grizzled Young Vets making an appearance at All In.
Yes, I'm so happy.
Yes, yeah. So, NXT Tag Team Championship, Chase University versus Nathan Frazier at Axiom. I feel like we're getting this every pay-per-view, but I'm going to go with Chase to retain here because...
I was going to say the same thing. There's no way they're losing that fast.
Yeah.
Same.
So, all right, the Women's Championship, Roxanne Perez versus Jada Parker. And I know everyone's like, oh, her toughest thing yet, and this and that. She beat Jordan Grace, people. Yeah. I'm not picking against her.
Okay, I didn't want to be rude, but I was about to go, who's saying this is the hardest match?
I don't know, the way they're promoting it, the way they always do it. Jada Parker's this big girl. I got to smack her across the face on Tuesday.
And I respect Jada Parker. I love her, but you said it yourself.
Yeah.
She beat Jordan Grace.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm not going against Roxanne Perez.
Yep, same here.
Yep.
And that's too bad because I was about to make that joke. I was like, I'm going to go with Jada Parker, but
you still could. No.
Yeah. Finally, and it seems like for the most part we're agreeing on this, but this is one that might be 50-50 or something. We're split. NXT Championship Special Referee Trick Williams, Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry. Wait to see if he appears. But by the way, shout out Izzy, who got to meet Joe Hendry and posted a picture, said his name has appeared, showed it to Joaquin and Adi, and they were just like, what? So,
also love the TikTok she made of her friend just came to see Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
Come to see me. I was like, okay.
Tommy, who you going with this one?
Screw it. I'm going Joe Hendry. I don't
All
care.
right.
I don't care. I do not care. I'm going Joe Hendry.
Mike.
Well, yeah, he's about to be the face of NXT, obviously. Joe Hendry. I mean, he's an NXT guy, so why would he not?
I agree with that. Why not pull the trigger on this? We wondered about it with Jordan Grace. Oh my God, what did somebody put in the chat?
No, it's not that. It's like I picked so many choices I thought you guys were gonna agree with.
Tommy thought he was going to be way more edgy tonight. It's just not working.
Yeah, dude, you took away all my ability to like. It's like, yeah, I've got this on my own.
No, but it just okay. As hype as he is right now, how do you not do it? And you guys mentioned it too. Like obviously, Josh Alexander, Nick Nemeth are going to have a freaking classic most likely on Friday.
Oh yeah.
We could potentially see Josh Alexander starting to come appearances in NXT. Who's to say he somehow gets involved and has an issue with Ethan Page? I don't know. It's interesting to see where Trick Williams fits into this, but I'm pretty sure the Trick versus Ethan Page thing is going to come to a head at some point. And it's going to cost Ethan Page the match, and I'm feeling Joe Hendry's going to win.
And I think that's why I'm picking it, because Trick is the referee, because I feel like that's going to play into it, and that's going to lead to them facing each other, And also, that being said, I'm not convinced that Joe will have this belt long, but I think he's going to win it for now.
Yeah. Wow, it's going to be a great weekend of wrestling, and we're capping it off with NXT No Mercy, Sunday, September 1st, 7 p.m. Central Time, pre-show around 6, in Ball Arena, home of the 3-time Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche in Denver, Colorado. I have to throw that in there because go Avs go. And, of course, will be exclusively on Peacock as well. So, what's popping up in the chat here? Joe Hendry, but I hope that Ethan don't retain because of interference by Josh Alexander.
Actually, think about that.
I mean, if you want to keep the heel thing going with Josh Alexander, re-teaming with Ethan Page as a heel tag team, that'd be interesting. But yeah. So, I'm curious to see where they're going with this. And got to keep an eye on this weekend too, because Victory Road is in a couple weeks here in San Antonio. And what happens at Emergence, what happens at NXT could very well slate what kind of talent we're going to see in San Antonio when Victory Road is here, and at the tapings the next day for Impact as well. So,
also, the amount of Gulf Coast shows we have wanted to go to, just can't make, is too damn high.
Yeah, and this Saturday, unfortunately, is no exception, because I'll be busy Saturday. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to make it.
And I will be at the Gulf Coast, but it's further down. I'll be on South Padre Island, which is another 3 hours further south of Corpus Christi. So, that's where I'm going to be this weekend with family. So, so I'll be watching it from the beach, but I'm going to be enjoying it for sure. So, all right. 1 minute warning time. Any of you guys got anything this week?
I'm good. I don't have one this week.
Nope.
Mike? Okay.
I'm good.
I'm good too, but I will say this. Go up and look up where's the name of the team? Arkansas Pine Bluff Band. It is an HBCU. During their game against Arkansas, they were playing Cody Rhodes' theme, marching band style. So,
what are they called again?
Arkansas Pine Bluff is the name of the school. I believe they're an HBCU. So, HBCUs have the best bands in college football.
Of course.
So go check them out. UAPB is the acronym. They were apparently playing Kingdom by Downstate marching band style during a college football game, which one of the biggest things I love about college football, you don't know what's going to happen, especially when the bands get involved, and I'm looking forward to it. So,
adrenaline and the soul, something goes.
I didn't realize this, but someone after the WrestleMania stuff that talking about or whatever, he's had that whoa in every version of his theme.
Yes.
WWE, and I don't think I really realized that until I started playing. I was like, "Oh crap, he did!" But it's like, "Whoa, you own this smoking," and I was like, "Huh."
By the way, shout out to my wife for this one. So one of the other coaches on one of the teams we played against in a tournament this past weekend. He's also a big wrestling guy. We're always talking wrestling. We see each other, and our teams are playing each other. We're coming out for the meeting, the umpire meeting before the game, exchange lineups, whatever. And my wife played Kingdom by Cody Rhodes, and there's a few people in the crowd going like this, And then I'm walking to the meeting and I see him. I was like, yeah, that's my welcome song, bro. And so he's like, I figured, because he knows Tina, he knows it. But it was such a fun little thing we have, and that's youth sports for you. It's a blast. So just skill wrestling involvement there. Again, recapping what's going on or what's coming up this weekend. Tomorrow is TNA Emergence, 7 p.m. Central Time, exclusively on TNA Plus. Main event of that one, of course, is the Iron Man match, Nick Nemeth versus Josh Alexander, 60-minute Iron Man match. On Saturday at noon Central Time is Bash in Berlin on Peacock. Again, taking place in Berlin, Germany. Main event of that will be Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. And finally, NXT No Mercy is Sunday, September 1st, 7 p.m. Central Time on Peacock from Colorado. NXT Championship, Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry with Trick Williams as the referee is the main event of that event. So next week, we'll hopefully have a better connection with everyone's cameras. We'll fix the whole issue with the intro.
We hope so. We'll see what happens.
We'll recap everything we talked about today and preview AEW All Out. Yes. Man, it's already happening, people.
These past 3 weeks have just been a blur.
Remember when people said nothing wrestling related ever happens on Labor Day weekend? It's like the worst weekend to book wrestling.
And now literally everyone can have a show on the whole damn weekend. So yeah.
Yeah.
Or the week before and after.
I think we could thank the original All In for that. Just proved it could happen.
You get a show, and you get a show.
Yeah. Everybody gets a show.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Once again. Yes.
What's that?
Yes. Can you believe it, people? We got music.
Oh, so someone's saying that we're not good enough to make the outro song now.
Whoever's saying that is right, but they have to say it like that.
Right. That's my point.
I appreciate it. So anyway, Sean, you missed the whole show, man. Yeah.
Go
back and watch it. We're not doing it again. We figured an hour and a half.
You're cool, but
we're about to just go watch it on demand. With all of our tech glitches and everything that's happened. So over here we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Big Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. As always, heels and baby faces. Remember, pro wrestling is real. People are fake.
Reach for the sky, boy.
Have a good weekend. Be safe out there. We'll see you next week.
Adios, cool thing.